So Tolpuddle Goat Cheese is a business that my wife and I set up 5 years ago. We moved from living in the city to living in the country. We bought 20 goats or so with the vision to establish a goat cheese business. The farm is on 120 acres in Tarrawinji in northeast Victoria. It's just at the start of the high country, and we produce a range of goat cheese from fresh all the way through to hard goat cheese as well. And we really made the move because we were sick of city life and wanted to try something different. We've always loved food and we wanted to produce something beautiful. I think Melissa and I had always dreamed about moving to the country and had always liked, you know, we went to farmers markets all the time. So Melissa and I had always fantasised about moving to the country, but really what had happened is that, like anyone in the corporate grind, work was sort of not going places. We had a nanny, we had a something $1 million mortgage, we had jobs that were, you know, just basically working for the man, and we were a bit sick of it. We wanted to do, we'd always had a bit of a, you know, a food dream, and we'd always wanted to do something associated with food. We love cheese, and we thought, let's give it a go. A lot of what we did was really based around blind stupidity to some extent, but you know, we chucked it all in and did what you do when you chuck everything in and just moved to the country. That's been really great. I think the biggest thing we've learned about is seasonality. Like the changes that you get from winter through to spring are just massive. And you know, it's this time of the year now, we're at the start of October, and everything just grows like crazy. There's so much production, there's so much milk, there's so many babies, there's all of those things. But the flavours are really different as well. The flavour of the cheese that you produce, because the flavour of the milk is just so different. And so dealing with that seasonality is really important. And you know, and that's one thing that we really need to help consumers understand, or we really need to work with consumers on, and that is that if you want a handmade artisan product that comes directly from a farm, don't expect some sort of cookie cutter McDonald's that gives you exactly the same thing all the time. There's seasonal variations, and we should embrace that because it's really great. The second thing as well that you've noticed is that before I lived in the country, you just don't have any appreciation for weather and how important weather is, and to farming life in general. And that's why farmers talk about rain all the time, or they talk about sun all the time, or they talk about heat all the time. And that is that, so right now out in our paddocks, we've got quite a low amount of feed, which means that there's not much grass growing, and the hay season this year is going to be really difficult because there's no moisture in the ground, and you learn all of those things, and they become really, really important. And that's something really difficult. It's challenging to deal with that, and the economics, the medium-term economics of buying and selling things is something that you also need to get used to. And yeah, and you don't ever think of that. You think about, okay, milk costs this, or cheese costs this, those things cost that, and yet that's not how it is for us. And unlike many farmers, I'm quite happy to say this, and that is that lots of times of the year you make really good money, but other times of the year you make nothing. And farming isn't all about poverty, it's actually about feast and famine, and you've got to manage that. That's a really difficult part of it to manage, you know. Famine's difficult to manage, but feast is really difficult to manage as well. Those really good times are quite difficult to manage, and you need to be able to even that out across the year. Second lift up, there. Our local community is wonderful and really vibrant and embracing of new ideas and new changes. It's really, really good. There are a lot of things about the city that are really, that you do miss. You know, from having lived in the city to living in the country, you know, I understand so much the quality of, you know, of awesome infrastructure. You know, things like public transport is terrible. The education system is really difficult to be able to manage and deal with, we're a small business. Like every small business, we need good NBN good telecommunications, good things like that, and that can be a really big challenge, because we have customers that want to contact us. Community's great. Like, we're much more involved in our community here than we ever were when we were living in Melbourne. So there's only a few things to do, and so you embrace those few things to do. So the local footy club's really important. The school is really important, and getting involved in all of those things. The farming is really diverse, and I think that there's a perception right now that farmers are struggling, and I think that that's a really unhealthy perception. I think that there is constantly, in a country, in a world of climate change, and in a country that has droughts and flooding rains, there are always farmers that are doing well, and there are always farmers that are having a difficult time. But we're no different to any other workforce. We have to manage the good times as well as the bad times. I think that if we want strong rural communities, then we actually need customers that understand food, and that means don't buy off your supermarket. It means go to farmers markets. It means look for the products that are sustainably sourced. Look for the genuine seasonal food. Each dollar spent at a multinational corporation is really 10 cents in the pocket of a farmer. Each dollar spent at a farmer's market is 90 cents in the pocket of a farmer. And I actually really think that if we value food, if we don't see food as being something that is cheap and easy to access, if we see food as something that is handmade, that an animal has died to produce, or that an animal has maybe not lived in the most pristine environment, like a chicken, for example. If people appreciate that and value that piece of food, then that's actually the greatest way to respect farmers. It's the greatest way to respect an animal that's actually given that to you. I think that's really important. Look for seasonal stuff as well. Cherry season is from November to January. There is no other time to buy cherries.